Sunnies! Welcome back to my channel. So this is Pong, your sunflower psychologist. And for today guys, meron naman tayong bagong video. And for today's video guys, I'm so excited to share it to you because it has something to do with your questions and your suggestions sa aking previous vlog. Sabi nyo kasi doon, gusto nyo malaman yung mga tips kung paano ma-survive ng psychology, paano ba maging successful sa field ng psychology. But in this topic, I will just delimit my vlog with regard doon sa mga tips kung paano mas magiging effective students sa field ng psychology at kung paano natin masusurvive yung psychology mas specifically. And I hope guys that you will learn a lot from this video because I'm really excited to share this to you guys. And before we proceed to our main topics, let me just clear it out to you guys. Disclaimer, so this vlog has something to do with the comments that you commented on the comment sections of my previous vlog, which is all about how can a student survive a psychology program in college and also in the advanced degree in psychology. Before I will start this video, expect that whatever will be shared in here, we are actually bound by our own principles of how we were trained in our respective fields, how we were trained in our respective schools. And I firmly believe that it's really important for us to have a good background about these topics because it will actually help you in your journey. And aside from that, I'm not saying guys that this is the most reliable tips that you could ever hear, and I'm not gonna say that this is going to be the most accurate tips and procedures that you can go about as you go through your journey in psychology. But what I'm gonna share to you guys ay yung kung paano ko siya na-survive and how can a certain student capitalize on their strengths and how can they actually move forward in the field and how can they successfully fulfill their dreams to become a licensed psychologist and psychometricians in the near future. So definitely I will just share to you what I know, and it has nothing to do and it has nothing against any other principles, or it doesn't actually affect how you were actually trained by your respective schools. But I'm just gonna share to you guys yung mga nalalaman ko. These are just based on my experiences as a mental health professional, as a psychologist, and as a psychometrician. And if you are interested about this topic, just please keep on watching. So the first tip that I'm gonna share to you guys is important ito. Do a lot of readings and researching. So you expect that when you enter the field of psychology, it's not just about the interventions. It's not just about helping. Yes, those are ingredients, but it's really important for you to have a good foundation and theoretical underpinnings in the field. So importante na madami kang nababasang mga libro at yung mga updated researches sa Pilipinas at sa iba't ibang mga researches sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo, because we expect that in our field nagbabago-bago din ang pamumuhay ng tao, nagbabago-bago rin yung mga pinagdadaanan at yung mga environment ng tao, na kung kaya pag merong bagong research na inilabas, pwedeng yung mga posibleng mga interventions or yung mga practices in the past may not be applicable in the present. So our field, we expect, is an ever-evolving field. So nag-evolve talaga siya over time. And this field doesn't only focus on one theoretical underpinning. So madami kang dapat pag-aralan. So you expect guys that in this field, you will it will really teach you on how you could capitalize your critical thinking abilities or your skills. And it will actually teach you to become patient in evaluating different researches and readings that could really help you develop your skills in the field. Kasi sabi ko kanina, ever-evolving yung field natin, ganun din yung mga studies and yung mga result ng mga studies na lumalabas over time, over the period of time. So, you expect that there are certain researches na pwedeng nagre-refute sa ibang researches, pero naman yung several researches na sinasabing ito yung effective na intervention, and this is the best way on how you could treat a schizophrenic patient, or this is the best way to treat a person with depression. So, magkakaiba yan, guys, and it's really important that you should be able to develop your way of evaluating these readings. So, importante talaga, guys, na magbasa. So, it doesn't really matter din kung ikaw ay magaling sa English or magaling sa different language, as long as you can understand the concept. Over time naman, pag may mga bagong konsepto na nababasa mo sa isang research, pinag-aaralan naman muna yan. Before your professor will give you a lot of readings or a bulk of studies to read, ine-ensure naman ng mga professors nyo na ito mga babasahin ito ay may ituturo muna, and these are just additional readings so that you could be able to be inspired later on to delve on research. Because as I said in my previous vlog, our bedrock in psychology is research. So expect, as scientist practitioners, we are expected to use evidence-based practices or techniques in the field. We're not just gonna use a certain field na outdated na. We should be very wary about the effectiveness of certain technique or of a certain treatment method, and so on and so forth. So that's really important. You have to really read, and it doesn't really matter if you're good in English, you're good in different languages or dialects, as long as you have that dedication to learn new things, and I know that you will learn a lot from the field. So the next tip is listen and comply to your professors or instructors' activities and instructions and requirements. So basically, guys, when you enter in the field, ang dami talagang requirements. Researches, readings, bulk of readings, researches. So, expect nyo na madaming activities sa inyo. Madami kasing field ng psychology kung saan in different fields, i-expose ka ng professor mo. And it's really important that within those periods, sa pagpasok mo sa college, and you experience all of these things, in the near future, hindi ka na mahihirapan mag-adjust doon sa environment na yun. Because you already have a good foundation and experience doon sa field na yun. So, importante na kung ano man ang ini-instruct sa'yo ng mentors mo or ng instructors mo, ano man ang tinuturo nila, ano man yung dinedirect nila sa inyo, or anything na sa tingin nyo naman or sa tingin naman nila ay importante sa inyo at para matuto kayo sa field ninyo, it's going to be useful in the near future when you become a licensed psychologist and psychometricians. No matter how difficult it is sa atin, that a lot of people will expect from you, and through this skill, yung pagko-comply, pag-listen, pag-adhere doon sa pinapagawa ng instructors mo or ng mentors mo, ay natututo ka over time na, you know, that to abide with certain rules. You abide with a certain time frame. So, beyond that, iisipin mo that these skills will actually teach you in the long run sa practice mo bilang licensed psychologist and psychometrician. Later on, we will have a hectic schedule. So, it's all about time management then. So, when you listen and comply to your professors or instructors' requirements and activities within a short period of time, expect that your teachers are teaching you or your professors are teaching you on how you could actually manage your time, how could you use your time well and wisely, and to accomplish all your activities or your goals in life. So somehow you have to flip the coin and then see the good thing about these struggles in the field. Okay, for the third tip that I could give you, important ito, guys. Associate yourself to your mentors or instructors who are practicing the field. This is in conjunction with the second one, kanina, but this is more specific. When I say associate yourself to your mentors, it's not about yung sinasabi nilang makisip-sip sa professor or gusto magpataas lang ng grade kaya sumasama sa professor and so on and so forth. You have to always build a boundary between you and your professor. What I'm trying to say here is that you have to associate yourself professionally to your professors or instructors who are practicing the field, kasi later on, pagka ikaw na yung nasa field na yun, ma-realize mo sa mga pagkakataon na kasama mo yung professors mo and then they share their experiences to you. Alam niya yun, nagkakaroon kayo, ito pala yung experience ni ma'am noon, totoo pala. Ito pala yung experience ni doctor noon na lagi niyang sinishare sa akin. So, na-experience mo na siya. So, when you have a good mentor or instructor, you associate yourself with them. When they want you to participate in their advocacies, their personal advocacies, and meron ka namang oras na pwede mong gamitin upang i-fulfill yung mga advocacies niya, then you go with it. It's not just about accomplishing a certain task set by your professors. It's not actually trying to please your professors. It's not that. At the end of the day, what you should learn is the practices that they have been doing and the practices that they have done in the past that you could actually apply in the near future pagka ikaw naman na yung naging licensed psychometrician or psychologist. So, importante talaga guys na magkaroon kayo ng mentor or ng instructor na pwede nyong maging inspiration. Walang magiging magaling na estudyante or na practitioner or ng isang professional kung wala yung mga guro natin na nagtuturo sa atin na kung paano maging magaling na professional. So, pagdating mo sa college, you expect, hindi naman lahat ng teachers ay nag-focus sa practice or may experience sa practice. But if you luckily have one professor na nagpa-practice sa field, please guys, advisable to and I highly recommend it. You participate in their activities. You associate with them. It's different or it's fulfilling and you feel like you're learning outside the classroom. That's the important thing in psychology. Associate yourself with your professors and instructors. That's my third tip. So for the fourth tip is that be who you are but stay modest. Importante yan guys. Yes, we have our own ideologies. We are actually attached to a certain theoretical foundation kasi ang daming theories sa field ng psychology. Mayroong mga positivist, may mga nagpo-focus sa mga rigid na mga theories, may mga nagpo-focus naman sa different field na opposite ng mga field na nasabi ko kanina. This is not to actually give you a diverse ideologies in psychology. It's not that. When you enter in the field of psychology, whatever will be your philosophy or your ideology as professional, stay modest. When you present your opinions, when you present yourselves on social media, when you present yourself through writing and videos like this, importante na truthful pa rin sa sinasabi. I-present mo lang kung ano yung nasa isipan mo. You don't have to hurt other people because this is just the ideology that you uphold. You don't have to shame other people because this is what you are trying to practice as a professional. Sabi ko nga kanina, madaming theories or theoretical foundations ng psychology. So, nasa sayo na yan kung ano yung i-uphold mong philosophy sa mga ito or sa mga ideologies na ito. Pero, importante din na igalang natin yung mga taong kaharap natin kung sakali man, or yung other professionals na kaharap natin, kung sakali man na magkaroon tayo or maka-encounter tayo ng professional na iba yung ina-uphold na philosophy. And aside from that, we always have to develop this modest way of interacting, whether it be through communication or whether it be on how we deal with people. It's importante na malaman din natin yung whatever will be the principles that you have, kahit pa kung ano man yung naging background mo before. Ito pa yung isang very importante yung dapat malaman natin. Kung sino ka man or kung ano man kung sino ka man at kung ano man yung pinanghahawakan mo sa buhay, so as long that it doesn't really affect your professional relationship with your clients, your relationship with your professors, your relationship with your colleagues, wala namang magiging problema. I-uphold mo lang yung principle na pinanghahawakan mo, pero always respect people. So, it's really good to say na be modest pa rin. Dapat maging kagalang-galang pa rin tayo. In this field, we don't want that people will have worrying thoughts with regard to the field. What we do, despite our differences, we should be able to learn how to harmonize. You have to understand the stance of other professionals or other students, and that is one skill na kailangan matutunan as psychologist or psychometrician. Importanteng makinig ka, active listening. It's not just about talking, expressing oneself. Minsan kailangan makinig, and you really have to understand it first before you blurt out your ideas or your opinions. So you stay modest pa rin. Maging kagalang-galang pa rin. That's my fourth tip. So the fifth thing that I'm gonna share to you is that you must have a heart and dedication into what you do. Importanteng skill yan, guys, because you know, guys, when you enter in the field of psychology, madami kang field na may encounter. Sabi ko nga din sa mga previous vlog ko, nandyan yung theories of personality, nandyan ang research methods, nandyan yung abnormal psychology, clinical psychology, exemptional psychology. If you want to really pursue a certain specialization in the near future, then you pour your heart to it. You pour your time to it. You use your time wisely into learning, into becoming the person that you want to be in the near future. Kasi if we pour our heart into something na gusto nating i-fulfill, na gusto nating marating, it follows na yung dedication mo to finish it, your dedication to accomplish it will be there. So, importante, guys, na pagka pumasok tayo sa field ng psychology, lalong-lalo na kung estudyante ka, you pour your time in this field. You pour your time into studying this field. If you want to become a successful psychologist in the near future, guidance counselor or psychometrician or any other mental health professional, and it is also true in other fields, na pagka binukas natin yung dedication and love natin para sa bagay na yun, mas nagiging bearable or mas nagiging madali yung kung paano natin i-handle yung mga challenges na may encounter natin sa different courses or sa different paths na tatahakin natin sa field ng psychology. So, importante yun, guys. When you want to become successful in the near future, start pa lang kayo sa college, ibuhos nyo na yung puso nyo at pagmamahal nyo at yung dedikasyon nyo sa field ng psychology, and you will be successful in due time. So the sixth tip that I'm gonna share to you guys is to know and capitalize your strength. You have to identify your strength, guys. Alam ko, iba't iba yung interest natin. Iba't iba yung aptitude natin. Yung skills natin magkakaiba din. Meron yung iba sa atin gusto yung madami tayong taong kasama. That's part of our personality. Some of us gusto yung tayo lang mag-isa. Meron yung mga tao gusto yung highly sociable activities. Meron naman yung ibang mga tao na gusto yung mga solemn and yung mga activities na it doesn't really require a strenuous activities, ganon. And we respect that. In the field of psychology, it doesn't really matter what kind of personality you have. So as long as you do not hurt other people, as long as you respect people of who they are, you are welcome in the field. And I believe that when you capitalize on these strengths, naniniwala ako na mas mag-flourish ka pa sa field. When, for example, for me, I am a highly introvert person. So when I was assessed as an introverted person, then I entered into counseling psychology and clinical psychology. and assessment psychology. These are the three major fields na pinasukan ko. And somehow, kahit papano, natutunan ko din na i-embrace yung pagiging highly introvert ko. Because during these solitary moments, importante din pala that you must actually have these solitary moments in your life where you can be able to use this period of time to study your client, the behavior of your client, to plan out for some interventions or treatment plans that you can work onto with your clients. So somehow it's like knowing on how you can actually use these strengths. No matter how introverted you are, extroverted you are, wala yan eh. Basta kung paano mo siya gagamitin sa profession mo. As long as you do not hurt people and as long as you respect their perspective, there's nothing to worry about. For example, kung ikaw naman ay highly extrovert, gusto mo sociable and you want a very, you are an outgoing person and so on and so forth, you like strenuous activities, you could capitalize on those strengths by actually focusing on fields in psychology that actually requires you to interact with people. You can become a social psychologist, and you might want to enter in psychotherapy, clinical psychology, counseling psychology, because may parts sa counseling psychology that would require you to conduct group therapy and psychoeducation and so on and so forth. And if you would like to capitalize on this strength, your ability to interact with other people or large group of people, then you can actually make use of this. So, importante yan, guys. Know your strength. Know how you can actually capitalize on this strength. So, that's my 6th tip. So, the 7th tip, guys, is I wanna advise you to participate in different school organizations that advocate mental health awareness. And aside from mental health awareness, those school organizations that break the stigma on mental health. Importante, guys, na as early as college, sa undergraduate pa lang, nandun na dapat yung puso mong i-serve and i-break yung stigma attached to mental health. Because as a professional, currently as a professional, ito na encounter namin. One of our dilemma or yung mga clients namin, yung mga dilemma nila, isa talaga doon is yung stigma na naka-attach doon sa kung sino sila ngayon at kung anong pinagdadaanan nila ngayon. So you can actually help professionals in the near future, and you as future or aspiring psychologists and psychometrician in the near future na as early as college, mag-participate ka sa mga activities na ganito. You don't have to like to go out there and then you'd be actually raise a rally or spearhead a mass protest on these matters. But what I'm trying to share here is that in your little ways, in your simple ways, for example, you post something about how can we break the stigma on person living with schizophrenia, or people living with HIV, or people living with depression and anxiety. So when we try to talk about these things, when we try to present these things na kung saan natututo yung mga tao sa paligid mo, mayroon na tayong mga gadgets, mayroon na tayong platform, social media. When we use this platform, when we use a certain assembly, a group of people to advocate on these matters, in the near future, hindi na tayo mahihirapan. Hindi na mahihirapan yung mga taong nakakaranas ng mga ganitong mga dilemma sa buhay. So, somehow, it's going to be a win-win situation. You help people in your simple ways as early as college, and as soon as you become a licensed psychologist and psychometrician, it will actually help you in your endeavors, and it will really alleviate our experiences, especially the experiences of our clients and your future clients. So that's for my 7th tip. And for our 8th tip, guys, is for you guys to be the most hardworking person in the room. When I say hardworking person, it doesn't mean that you should be very competitive sa loob ng classroom ninyo, or you have to be very aggressive in the way you accomplish your things. Your byproducts or the results will reflect how you have been working on this product, how you have poured yourself and your time and your heart into finishing this product. So it's really important for us to develop this kind of attitude that we should be very focused on what we want to do. Kasi later on, as a psychometrician and psychologist, we have plans for our clients. We have a dedicated and well-developed plans for our clients na kailangan natin ma-accomplish within a certain period of time. So, regardless of the techniques or the methods or the right methods that you've been using into accomplishing these goals, again, your byproduct or your products will reflect how you've been working on it. So, that's one of the good tips for you guys to try. For my 9th tip, guys, very important to. And just recently, ito lang yung parang realization ko lang as practitioner. Importante pala na mag-build tayo ng network as early as college. Kasi when we build a network, ibig sabihin we build a connection towards our colleagues, towards our classmates. In the near future, if you have plans, for example, you want to build a clinic, you want to build a firm or psychological firm, you want to build a partnership with your colleagues and your soon-to-be colleagues, to your classmate at the moment, and to your teachers at the moment. Importante siya because referral is very important in our field. We expect, guys, that sabi ko nga kanina sa mga previous na mga tips, may mga skills na pwedeng meron ako na wala yung colleague ko. Meron naman yung skills na meron siya na wala ako. So, when we build a partnership, when we build a network, we learn the concept of referral system. It's like we try to understand and we try to learn from their experience. And you want them to learn from our experience. And it's like building a collaborative relationship. Because in psychology, pagka pumasok ka sa practice ng psychology, collaborative efforts is very important. It's like networking. What is the best practice? Could you share to me the best practice? Then you would learn something new from your colleague. They do the same thing. They would ask you what's the best practice, what was the best technique when somebody would like to seek for help. Then definitely they will learn from you and we learn from them. So it's like building a network. It's like in the near future you would really look into this as something na importante sa field natin. So as early as college, learn to have a good relationship with your mentors, with your classmates, and to the society in general. Kasi when you have a good network, when you have a good connection with other people, then definitely magiging bearable na lang yung challenges mo as professional. So that is my 9th tip. So the 10th tip that I'm gonna share to you is very close to my heart, and for some who are watching this, hold on to your dreams. You may fail several times in a certain subject. You may fail in different areas in your life. But it doesn't mean to say that you are a failure. Always think of your worth. You are a box full of surprises. Sabi nga ni Pia Wordsbach, di ba? I won't stop. Kasi alam ko na ito yung gusto kong gawin. To inspire people. To raise awareness on certain issues. To break the stigma against certain issues sa society natin. And this should be the kind of character that we should be able to develop in our lives as psychology students and practitioners. Lalong-lalo sa isang estudyante, darating sa punto sa buhay natin na we've poured everything, but it seems like yung pinaghirapan natin ay hindi enough para sa mga tao. And for us to be able to have or to counter that feeling, isipin natin yung worth natin. Ano nga ba yung pinaglalaban natin? Ano nga ba yung binavalue natin? Ano nga ba yung ibinuhos natin Meron ba itong halong pagmamahal? Meron ba itong dedication? And if yes, binuhos mo lahat ng mga ito, then you should be very proud of yourself. Hold on to your dream. If you want to become a psychologist or psychometrician in the near future, then work on that. Again, you may fail many times, but it doesn't mean that you are a failure. You failed the examination twice, thrice, 4 times, hindi pa rin pinalad, then try again. There is a time for everything. And when the time comes, alam ko na you will be the happiest person in the world. You will feel that. I've encountered that also before. I failed many times. So definitely, okay lang yun. But I used this experience, that failing experience, to become more resilient. I mean, I developed a sense of resilience. When we try to put some meaning on our experience, no matter how troubling that experience is, no matter how depressing that experience is, when we try to put meaning onto something, and we try to look at it as a ladder for you to be able to reach your dream, then do it. No matter how difficult they seem to be. If your heart is into serving, and if you want to fulfill your goals, then yes, don't stop, follow your dreams, and hold on to your dreams. That ends my vlog for today, guys. I hope you learned something new for today. And if you have some inquiries and you have some suggestions, just please drop your questions on the comment section. And thank you guys for continuously supporting my vlog. And I really appreciate it a lot. And if you still have some more inquiries about my previous vlog, just post your questions. I'll try my best to answer your inquiries. And aside from that, please guys, subscribe on my channel. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so that you will be notified if there will be future uploads. Please guys, if you like this video, don't forget to tap the like button. And if you have some more questions about this video, if you are inspired, and if you think kailangan to ng kaibigan mo, kailangan to ng mga kapamilya mo, pinsan mo, at ng kabarangay mo, guys, please share this video. I hope I help you again. So see you on my next one. Bye!